Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name is Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Terence Bud Crawford makes history by becoming the first fighter in the four-bout era to become undisputed in two weight divisions. I told you before the fight, Bud is number one. And that's what he proved. He absolutely dismantled Errol Spence from start to finish. Right, I'm not cocky enough to say I told you so. I'm not going to do that. But I told you so. I told you all how this was going to pan out. And I'm going to bask in this glory because let me tell you something. I got hammered for getting a few predictions wrong. I got Teo and Josh Taylor wrong. And the Fulton and the Inouye fight, even though I predicted Inouye to win, it didn't pan out as I said it would. And I shouldn't get anything wrong. If you know me, you'll understand. I should not get anything wrong. I take this very seriously. This is my fucking livelihood, right? Because if I don't build my credibility, I don't get any followers. This market is saturated. You've got the big media outlets on mainstream TV, you've got radio, you've got your big YouTube outlets, you've got your big influencers, you've got other YouTubers. It's a saturated game. Everyone's got a YouTube channel, right? So to start off from zero, which I have, and to get to where I've got to now, across all my platforms, TikTok, Instagram, I'm happy, right? I don't buy my followers. I don't beg people to follow me. People follow me because they know I'm going to tell you the truth. They know I know the sport, right? And they know I get it right more often than not. No one is predicting these fights like I am. They're not. They might predict some, but they ain't regularly predicting the fights like I am. Everyone's an after time after the event. All these so-called experts, go and look at the predictions pre-fight with mine, right? I was 100% right. I told you all, the counter-punching, he's number one. He's too good. He's too good. He's too strong. He's too good. He will win the fight. And ultimately, that's how it panned out. Right. First of all, I've got to say, what an unbelievable event. If you're a promoter, that is the gold standard. That is what we want to see. We want to see it every week. We want to see the big fights, the iconic fighters fight. We're sick of the politics. We're sick of it all because when you get two fighters together, it creates a diamond. And it was unbelievable, the event, everything. I just loved the traction from it because every post I was putting out, it was getting a lot of traction. Like I can see it. This fight was as big as anything this year, as big as anything I've seen recently. I'm telling you, it was big. People were invested. And we all said beforehand, maybe it's not as big as we thought it was. I've said that, the fighters haven't got the biggest profiles, are not Floyd or Conor McGregor. But listen, it blew me away. Boxing needed it with all the nonsense we've got to see. I mean, we had that silly Astrid, whatever her name is. I mean, I still don't think that's real. I saw a video of it and she's gone through a table. Just get off my screen with boxing gloves on. Go away. Just go away. Nonsense it is. And we've got this Jake Paul nonsense, which I actually don't care about. I actually do what you want me. If you're stupid enough to listen to that guy, and he's conning you out of money, you give him your money. If you're stupid enough to do that, more fool you. He's an actor, not real life. Everything he puts out is fake, not real. And you believe it. Unbelievable. So if you want to believe that, if you think you're getting a real assessment of what's going on with Jake Paul, it's nonsense. It's just money nonsense. They're all friends. I actually think him, Tommy Fury, Logan Paul, KSI, all of them, they're all mates. You all think KSI and Jake Paul are enemies when his brother's in business with him. They're all taking the piss out of you. And you believe it. So more fool you. If you want real truth and real boxing talk, come here. Because that's what you'll get. These guys are just cowboys, mate. And I'm seeing all these presenters rocking up. MMA presenters. I don't want to see you on boxing shows. You don't know boxing. It's pre-restricted crap, right? So it's the fight's coming up. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Yeah, great. My dad can say that, right? It's pre-rehearsed. I want to see boxing people in boxing. I don't want to see MMA people in boxing. I don't want to see boxing people in MMA. I want to see boxing people in boxing. Go away with. It's just nonsense. It's just like. It's unbearable to watch. I have to mute it. I don't want to hear it. I want boxing people involved with boxing. That's it. Let's talk about the fight. Well, the ring walks. Oh my God. I mean, I've seen a lot of them. Throughout the years. And that was the best I've ever seen. Now, I know Eminem didn't actually sing. I think there was licensing issues because it was so quick how it came about. It was literally an Instagram post by Bud. I think he was asked, who would you like to walk you out? And he said Eminem, and Eminem responded, I think you're my favourite boxer. And Bud said, rock up and let's do this. And he walked him out, and it might have been to do with licensing issues with the venue and the record label why he couldn't actually sing. But when that instrumental came on, Lose Yourself, the beginning of it, and Eminem came out and he said, ladies and gentlemen, a new undisputed welterweight champion, Terence Crawford, you just knew. You knew you're witnessing greatness. The goosebumps was like, wow. You imagine Spence in there. I mean, that was such a clever move by Bud, because that really would have played in Spence. He said, listen, right, who doesn't love Eminem? Who does not love Eminem? He's a god, an absolute god. So you're gonna be wounded if he's walking someone else out and he's saying they're the undisputed champion before you've even fought. You just knew you were witnessing greatness. And the best thing about this event was, it's not just the glory and the money the fighters win, they become significantly bigger stars afterward. This is why I don't understand why big fights don't happen all the time, because even if you lose, if you're involved with a strong promotion, you get a lot of opportunities. Look at Jermaine Franklin, look at Andy Ruiz. These guys, when they've fought big names, they've become bigger stars afterwards. Conor McGregor, I don't care what anyone says, everyone who's fought Conor McGregor, you look at them before and after, their profile is significantly bigger after. And with this, you got to really see more of Bud, because even though I've been a big Bud fan for years and years and years, I've never been 100% invested because I'm from the UK. The fights are on that late at night. He doesn't do a lot of interviews, so he's not been the easiest person to follow. His skills have always been there, but I was invested in this properly just to see how Bud is the leader and the captain of his ship. The trainer's not telling him what to do. He's telling the trainer. If you look, when he walked out, Eminem's with him, and usually they get to the stairs to get into the ring. The fighter gets into the ring and the trainers follow. Bud walks out just so calm, you just knew he was going to win. And he has this look, he goes like that to his training team. They go in first, and that's the leader. Right, you go. They get in first and he follows them, and you just know he is the leader. Right, and it was just, what a mindset. I mean, he's up there with Ronaldo, Messi, Federer, Nadal, just a winner. Just a winner, number one. Unbelievable. And I mean, look, I did say Bud would win, but I didn't think he'd absolutely batter him and dismantle him like he did. It was just an absolute mismatch, wasn't it? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Look, a lot of respect for Errol Spence, right? How can you not love Errol Spence? What a guy. Seems like a real great family man. I'm a fan of his, I am. I've never been that sold on Errol Spence. I saw Cal Brook outboxing for parts of their fight. And I'm convinced if he never had that eye injury against Golovkin, he could have beat Errol Spence. I'm telling you, Brook was having a lot of success. He was out jabbing him at times. And watching that, I always knew that Bud would be too good for him. I always knew. And it was just the counter-punching. You can see his glove wasn't to his chin all the time. Right? You can see he was like that. He was like that or that. It wasn't there. If you look at Crawford, the fucking glued to him before he counter-punches. And you can get away with that against you guys. You can't get away with that against the likes of Terence Crawford. You can't. And he just lit him up with the counter-punching. He just lit him up. Ferocious he was. Just pieced him up to the body, to the head. It was sensational. And I'm actually convinced that he could have stopped the fight earlier if he wanted to. I'm sure there was a few bets on that round 9 for his friends or family members. I don't know, but I think he could have got him out of there a lot earlier if he wanted to. But he took him out. It was cold. It was vicious. It was just, I mean, look at the antics. There's parts in the fight where he's dropped Spence and he's messing around with Charlo. He's saying, "You're next, motherfucker. You're next." It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it was like me having a cup of tea. The calmness of him. That was how calm he was. How I make a cup of tea in the morning is how calm he was in front of millions of people around the world and thousands in the arena. Unbelievable. The mindset was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was just, I mean, I can go on and on about the fight, but we all saw it. I mean, what more can I say? It was just total destruction. And now, doubt Bud now. Doubt him now, because, listen, there's a lot of after-timers coming out. "Oh, I knew how good you was. I know you're great." And they weren't saying it before the fight. These so-called experts, I mean, the nonsense I heard beforehand. Oh, Bud might get stopped late on. Spence is too big. I said to you before the fight, he's deceivingly strong on the inside. You can't just bully him. He will bully you and push you back. And there's clips of him. Literally, they're in close and he throws him off like a baby. Throws him off. Right? A lot of people just got it wrong. I didn't. A lot of people got it wrong, and I'm just shocked. I just don't know how you can pick against Bud. I just don't know how you couldn't see it. It was there for all to see how good he is. Unbelievable fighter, as I've said non-stop. And I've been on this for years and years and years. I've said it for years. Look at the channel I launched in 2022. There's videos of me saying that, saying Bud Spence's team don't fancy it. And I never think they did at first, right? It was just destruction. What does Errol Spence do now? Right. Now, I'm hearing people say retirement and stuff like that. Now, look, you have to factor in the situation and the circumstances, right? If you look at boxing throughout the years, it's been littered with stories of fighters who have taken sustained beating and never been the same again. Kawasaki, Jeff Lacey, the list goes on, you know? So you've got to look at Spence. This is not a guy who's just gone through everyone, he's fighting regularly, and he was just up against a good fight. It was a bad night at the office. It wasn't that. He's had tremendous trauma, the car crash. I mean, you're not Superman. It's going to stay with you. The eye injury, the other car crash he had, the inactivity, that is going to stay with you. He's had tremendous trauma, and that beating he took, listen, that fight should have been called off. I don't care who you are. Listen, I don't care how big the fighter is. That fight should have been called off earlier, especially considering the trauma that he's had to his body, Spence, and all the injuries. You know, really, it should have been called off. He should have been saved from himself. And I know it's easy for me to say, fighters are built differently, right? They will come back the day after and fight again. That's what they want to do. That's why he wants to rematch. But he needs saving from himself. If he did retire, I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't be something to have a go at, or it wouldn't be something to disrespect Spence. We can all see the issues he's had. You know, he's given a lot to boxing for years and years and years. You know, if he wants to save himself and live a good life, who am I to, you know, shout at that? And really, you listen, health is wealth, right? Health, that is all that matters ultimately, right? Listen, it doesn't matter what we think, right? It doesn't, right? Your health and your family is more important. Right? And I think his friends and his family and his team really need to drum that into him, right? Because he took an absolute beating and he may never be the same again after that. He may never be the same again. What next for Bud? Right. I'm seeing absolute nonsense comments, people saying, I don't want to see the Boots fight. He'll destroy him. I don't want to see Virgil Ortiz. What are you talking about? Styles make fights and circumstances make fights, right? Clearly, Errol Spence had issues coming into the fight, right? He did, right? That wasn't 100%. Now, I'm not taking anything from Bud. He was too good, and he'll always be too good, right? But Spence had nothing, didn't he? He was nothing after the third round. He had nothing, whether it was the weight, whatever it was, that wasn't 100%. Boots and Ortiz and younger fighters are different, right? If they're coming in active, right? Okay, I know Ortiz had issues with weight, so let's forget about him. But Boots, that is a fight. What a fight that is. Don't tell me that Boots isn't a dangerous fighter for anyone. It is a dangerous fight. Let me tell you something. Bud is not going to dismantle Boots the way he dismantled Errol Spence. I'm telling you, he's not. It's a high level, unbelievable, one of the best fights in boxing. It is. I want to see it. I want to see the young pretenders come through. How many times have we all said Boots is the future? It's a sensational fight, that. It's an absolute mouth-watering. I think it was what the Spence fight should have been. I think Boots and Bud will be the fight that we should have got on Saturday. I think it's a tremendous fight. Tremendous. I want to see it. Boots is legit. He's a seriously talented, fast, powerful, explosive fighter. I want to see it, and Bud, as I said, is number one. Make that fight. I want to see it because Charlo's tied in with Canelo. You know, let's see that, and let's see him fight Charlo next. I want to see that fight. Don't tell me you don't want to see it. That is the fight to me, Boots and Bud Crawford. But it's just nice. It's just nice to see boxing being spoken about in great terms. I know we've got the circus on Saturday night, and You know, it's hard for me to comment on the Jake Paul fight. What do I want to see? Just a fight of the overhand right. No, that's all he does. Goes to the body. It's over the left. Again, I always do that. But you get my point. It's the overhand right. That's all he does. I'm not interested. I don't want to see it. Crack on. Do what you want. As I said, if you're stupid enough to be conned by him, that's your fault. I'm just still buzzing about it. I'm just so glad that Bud proved to be number one. And we needed it. And we needed someone to come along and to fill that void from Floyd. Because it's still not been filled. It's not. And even though Bud's always had the ability, he's never had the profile. Now, he has the fucking profile. Because you have Eminem walking out with you. Listen, that's bringing infinitely more eyes than any other person can bring to you. I'm telling you. Right? He is superstar status now, and it's good to see. Right, let me know what you think. Did you know Bud would win? Were you happy with how the fight played out? What happens next? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.